And it's definitely a good thing we got a 10-ton power Porta Power. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing. Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so we are working on the Dyna today to get that bent frame unbent, hopefully, and we're all set up to do it. I didn't film the setup process because that's kind of pointless. Nobody cares about that. I can just show you guys what we're doing and how we're set up for it, and then show you us attempting to get the bend out of the bottom of this frame. So we got a few different things going on here, as you guys can see. First of all, we lifted the back of the bike up and put the swing arm on jack stands. And then we've also got it strapped to the stand itself so that it can't go anywhere. So it's sitting solid on the jack stands. And then we didn't have a bottle jack that would have worked, so we used the floor jack that we have. And we've got it jacked up underneath this front motor mount on the frame. And what we did is we just took out the bottom bolt there just because the jack was trying to rest on the bolt and we don't want that happening. So we just took that bolt out just to prevent that from getting all messed up. And then we've got our Porta Power here. Then on this side of the bike, we have this homemade frame jig of my dad's that we've kind of had to chop up a little bit. So we had to cut out the center mounting spot there on the frame jig so that we would be able to have support on either end of the frame beneath the primary there where it's bent. And then we've got the other end of the Porta Power here. We're using this duckbill attachment, a couple little pieces of aluminum there just to give us the proper spacing that we need. We've got some chain bolted onto the frame here for the mid control mount, and then going down to a bolt underneath of this duckbill thing going to the other side where there's a couple more pieces of chain and hooks that are hooked onto the other side of the frame under the bike. So we're going to pump up the Porta Power. It's going to open up this duckbill attachment, which is going to pull the bolt down, which is then going to actually put tension on the frame here and hopefully begin to pull that down. And this will all be supported by the frame jig there. So luckily we didn't have to actually make anything or scrounge around too hard to find something to work, because this frame jig actually just ended up being almost perfect. And by the way, this isn't an actual frame jig. It's just something that my dad put together real quick just to build or just to kind of straighten a cradle that he was building at the time. And yeah, so we're not actually using that as a frame jig, or it's never been actually used as a frame jig. It's just, it was a temporary thing for a project at the time. So as you guys can see, we've actually have moved it a little tiny bit. We don't care about making it perfectly straight. We just want it to not be touching the engine anymore. So let's give it a go.
Back it off just slightly.
Okay.
Till this all moves.
Just tell me when.
Well, just back it off. Okay, back it off a little more. I just don't want it to pinch my fingers. A little more. Okay, well, you can pump her up now.
Okay.
Pump her up and see where it goes.
Oh, I need to put a snipe in. This is so hard to do. Is it moving?
Keep going. Yeah, she's moving. Just keep it going.
How far has it moved it?
Well, we've moved it about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little more. 3/16 maybe almost. Let's back it off slowly.
Okay.
Slowly. I just want to see how much spring back it has. Okay, well, it's moved a tiny bit more. Okay, that's good. Just leave it there for a minute. Okay, we can back it off a little more. because I want to push this Porta Power thing in there a little farther so that we get a little more leverage on it.
Okay.
And I want to put maybe another 1/8 of an inch of material in there. Okay, put some load on it again. Just keep it going. It's moving, it's just moving slowly.
Man, I'm almost not strong enough to do this.
Oh, you're strong enough. Keep her going. Come have a look if you want to see the progress for yourself. It'll give you more incentive to keep working at it.
Yeah, it's moved it quite a bit.
Well, look at it from the end here. Come look at it from the end here. You can see.
Well, yeah, it's right here where it was touching.
Look at how strong you are. You're bending steel, just like Superman. Well, Supergirl, actually, I guess. Yeah, you've made a lot of progress there. We're almost at a 1/4 inch total movement.
All for some freaking floorboards.
No, we'd have to do this whether you were putting boards on it or not.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's only by the grace of God that we found this, because we were putting
I know, we would
boards.
have ruined the I would have had to replace my inner primary anyway.
Yep, and then still straighten your frame. Okay, well, I want to stop where we are. I want to do some adjustments on some of our hookups and attachments here. Okay, now put some load on it. Add a little more load. Okay, let's try it there.
Bet someone stronger isn't here to help.
You're plenty strong enough. Okay, come take a look at it, girl.
Oh, jeez.
Give yourself some incentive.
Whoa, that's moved quite a bit.
It's moved it a lot. We're gonna need to make some adjustments here now. Get some load on this so I don't have to hold it in this position. Keep loading it up. Like I said, this is under a lot of load, so this whole setup is kind of precarious because we got square blocks on a round tube. Well, we've managed to move it 3/8 of an inch.
How much further till it's straight?
Where it's sitting right now, under load, it's straight. But we got to go a little past straight for it to be straight when it's not under load.
Okay, everybody, so we just paused the show for a minute and we re-jerried our jerry rig because we've bent a couple bolts. So we replaced the bolt again that we've got under the chains there that I showed you guys. And we just made a little bit better with actually threading a nut onto it to just keep everything more in place. And then we also put just an aluminum block underneath this side of the frame here. Anyway, we're ready to go now again and put some more force on this thing and hopefully bend it even further than we have already. But as you can see, we'll zoom in there. Might be able to just see, yeah, you can clearly see we've moved it about a 1/4 of an inch. So yeah, there's no tension on anything right now. That's just where it sits when it's just sitting there without any tension. So you can just see that it's got like about a 1/4 of an inch worth of gap in there now, which is good. We're gonna try to make it straight, but we're not gonna try to make it perfect. Clearly you can't do that with everything together. And it doesn't actually affect the alignment of the frame. Now that we've moved everything, we are gonna have to realign just the drivetrain and everything like that. But so far so good. We've moved it quite a bit and it seems to be working out. So we're just gonna try to move it as much as we possibly can to get it as straight as we are able. And yeah, we'll see where we can go. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep pumping that thing up and making it so that my arms are sore for work tomorrow.
Okay, go put some load on it. We'll see if this gives us a little more. Okay, now you can go to town.
Dang it. Wish I was going to town to get some ice cream.
Yep, keep her going. Oh man, we've come so far. I really don't want to give up until it's straight. Okay, well let's back it off again and try and get it in there farther. That's all I can, it's the only thing I can suggest we do so that we get a better leverage point. Okay, you want to back that off a little farther so I can put some more space in here. So I can put this 1/8 inch piece in there. Okay, now, if I could keep it from pushing itself back, give me those oil filter pliers. I have a stupidly stupid idea. Okay, load it up there and see what happens. Just got to get it past the point where it's wanting to slide on here.
Keep going or what?
Yep. Keep going. That's moving it.
Is it?
Yep.
Finally? That's so hard.
She's moving. Keep going. I'm just watching here to see how far it's willing to go. Doesn't seem to be spreading it anymore. We're at our limit again.
Dang limit.
Okay, we gotta back her off, but come and look at it. Like we have moved it a long ways. Like check that out. I can get my finger in there.
Oh yeah.
See that?
Yep.
Okay, let's back it off and we'll try and get this a little closer to the pivot here so that can put a little more load on it. Okay, just keep it right. No, just I just got to be able to get these pliers on this. Oh, load her up.
Oh. Does it look like it's gonna make a difference?
Well, it might. Just keep going. Like I said, we just got to go a little past straight.
Is it going?
Oh yeah, it's moving.
Johnny, why don't you help me, Patty?
That is tight. Tight, tight, tight. Turn a chain into a guitar string.
So now what?
Well, okay, well let's loosen this off. Enough for me to get that stuff out of there. And we'll see if we can put one more valiant effort in and watch the frame snap.
No.
Wouldn't that be exciting?
No. Then I would just like roll the Dyna off a cliff.
I think we can do it with this piece. Okay, just a minute here. Okay, load her up. Okay, take her away. Oh, that is definitely moving. Okay, just a minute, I want to see where we're at here. Okay, I think that's it. Back it off.
What, really?
Yeah, we're straight.
Yes. Is it?
Yep. Check it out. We have a straight frame.
Is it actually straight?
I'm telling you, you can come and check it
Well,
out.
it's probably not perfect, but
Well, it's probably never going to be 100%, but I'd say it's 99%.
looks like a straight frame to me, guys. Check out that, guys. That looks really straight, actually. And it's not touching the primary anymore. You can see, maybe you can see just how much it was actually kind of started to grind away at that primary already. So it's a good thing we caught that, because that would have been bad news down the road. yeah, that's it. Quite the setup for Johnny Crash. Johnny Crash, just being a crash bike. So now it's just a matter of realigning the engine because it's all rubber mounted, as a lot of you probably already know, and your whole drivetrain assembly and everything aligns with the engine because the swing arm is mounted to the transmission. So we got to do some alignment and stuff like that, and yeah, then it should be good to go for the finishing of the floorboard project. Well guys, that's it for that little project, little big project. It actually worked out. I didn't really have doubts that it would, but I kind of had doubts that it would, because Johnny Crash is notorious for just not wanting to work with us and cooperate and make things easy. But that's okay, because it just means that I have more experience under my belt for making things work and fixing things, and it also just means that I can feel a little bit more proud about my Johnny Crash bike when I'm actually riding it. And yeah, maybe one day the Johnny Crash name will no longer belong to it, but I feel like it's always going to be Johnny Crash, and it's a good name for it because he's got style, but he's a little bit beat up, and you know, it kind of works. So like always guys, this isn't anything professional. I'm not telling anybody how to do anything. I'm not a professional. My dad's been doing it for a long time, and we just do it works. It's a little bit hillbilly, but sometimes you got to do things the hillbilly way because you don't have money to do them the proper way. But if it works, it works, and this worked. So if anybody needs to fix a bent frame, then that's how we did it. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. And if this was helpful to you at all, then, well, I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me, but you like my bike, my bikes, whatever, then like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put a new video out. And hopefully the next time I do a Johnny Crash video, it's of me actually doing the floorboards and getting this thing closer to being able to ride it. So anyway, like always, my lovely YouTube people, thanks for being here, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. Tiny, why are you so clumsy?